How are you convinced, Dr. Griffith, not only that it is possible, but you can influence the transformation of this long-neglected educational enterprise?
So before I answer that question, which is a good question, I want to pause and ask our viewers to observe a moment of, even if it's a nanosecond of silence, for the murder recently this past week of someone who helped to make the enterprise at University of Ghana what it became. And that is the murder of Dr. Perry Mars. Taught me at University of Ghana, became a good friend over decades, and had the misfortune of being murdered in his own home. I spoke to his wife, Joan, this morning, working on funeral arrangements. And so I want us to, in thinking of becoming the enterprise, we cannot forget the people who labored in the vineyards. And Perry Mars, Dr. Perry Mars, Professor Perry Mars is one of those. So condolences to Joan and the rest of the family. And I intend to have a memorial on campus in the not-too-distant future. You know, someone asked me during the public discourse on April 12th, and the conversation had to do with why is it the university is having difficulty in certain aspects of the STEM arena, science, technology, engineering, and math. And I pointed to the fact that no credible university can afford to ask the question, can we afford some things? The question often has to be flipped. Can we afford not to be able to afford some things? And I would say in the context of the University of Guyana, we cannot not afford innovation. We cannot not afford to have the dreams of young Guyanese, young Caribbeans. My hope is to make young South Americans, I'll come back to that connection, make their dreams and the dreams of Guyana come possible. And we cannot do that by just practicing the science of muddling through. And unfortunately, what Guyana's sole national university has been contending with for the past couple of decades is practicing the science of muddling through. There is too much at stake for us not to go from where we are to a place that is big and bold, that befits the dreams of individual citizens, that befits the dreams of the nation, and befits the dreams of the region in South America, of which we are part.
I am so glad that you, even though a little bit ahead of time, that you mentioned South America and other parts of the region, because I had a question for you later on in the conversation about linkages and exposing the University of Guyana to the global community. Mm-hmm. How interested are you in doing such, in exposing the University of Guyana students to other parts of the world?
There's a wonderful book written by Thomas Friedman, a book called The World is Flat. First edition, I think 2004, 2006.
The World is Flat.
You didn't have to read Thomas Friedman's book, which speaks to the connectivity of the world, the globalization of the world, to appreciate that no part of the world can afford not to be connected to other parts of the world. Guyana cannot afford to be disconnected. Guyana's leading national institution cannot afford to be disconnected. And so there is some good news in that the University of Guyana has had a series of international connectivities. The not so good news is that the follow through and making those connectivities realize for Guyana's benefit has not been what it should be. And so I intend to build on some of the connectivities that are there. I'll give you a couple. Wayne State, Ohio University, Anton de Kom in Suriname, University of West Indies, Leisha in UK. Those are just some of the institutions with which University of Guyana already has. But we need to institutionalize them. regularize them, ensure that when we sign a document, it's not signed and put on a shelf, that it is actually actualized, and that the things that the documents speak to the memoranda of understanding, those things happen. But I think this is an opportunity as well for the University of Guyana to build broader connectivity. I made a point both in Berbice and in Georgetown, and I'll be making the point on the 22nd at a forum on campus. Guyana has to actualize what its geographic destiny is. We are not only culturally and historically Caribbean, but we are geographically South American. And so we've got to leverage that geography in the benefit of the nation Guyana, for the benefit of the region Caribbean, and be that intellectual, organizational, educational link. Venezuela, our ambassador to Venezuela, Ambassador Cheryl Miles, a good friend, she and I have already said, Ivelaw, we've got to do things more with Venezuela. The incoming ambassador to Brazil, Talbert, spoke on the phone last week, looking forward to doing things with Brazil. But there are so many more opportunities. Why shouldn't Guyana, through the University of Guyana, not be offering English as a second language to students from Venezuela, Brazil, Suriname, at the very least? We should be able to do that. And so, yes, it's ensuring that the connectivity that is a natural part of the world order, that we are not left out of that. And we've got to find ways to make the connections that we already have strong, viable, and functional. And we've got to look for new opportunities to make connectivity with Europe, with the Caribbean, with Asia, with Africa, with China. We've got a Confucius Institute, but we need to have much more than the institute doing social stuff. We've got to have hard intellectual engagements with the Chinese and with others. So yes, there are grand opportunities. And part of my mantra is opportunities and innovation. We've got to ask the question, where are there opportunities to do or to do better? Where are there opportunities to innovate? And sometimes innovation is not creating a new, it's just doing better what you've got. You know, maximizing the return on the investment, both on the human capital side and the finance capital side. And so, yes, Thomas Frieden didn't have to tell us that the world is flat. We are more seized on a daily basis of the importance of linking our part of the world, Caribbean, Guyana, to the rest of the world. And University of Guyana has a valuable role in that connectivity.